Hello, friend. Today,
Sorry.
we're talking spirit combinations. And specifically, my favorite spirit combinations. Now, these are just the base game and the 2 spirits that came with the original Kickstarter. We're going to ignore the expansion spirits for now. And Jona is here to be the peanut gallery.
I'm being the peanut gallery, the sound buffer.
She's going to judge me on my combinations.
I'm going to be the voice of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, you have some combo nicknames.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and guess which spirits he's putting together based off the nicknames. So we'll see how well I do with that. If you want to play along, you can put your guesses in the comments.
Better yet, I want to hear your spirit combo nicknames.
Here's mine. Rock and roll.
All right. Whetstone? I like whetstone better.
Whetstone?
Yeah, like a whetstone something you sharpen your knives on.
The knife sharpener might be. That sounds cooler.
The knife sharpener?
Have fun with it. Put some in the comments for us.
Neither of these are in any of the combos because the snake guy tends to be better with larger player counts than 2 people. And I didn't put Heart of the Wildfire in because he puts Blight out. So when you play with just 2 players, you run out of Blight very quickly. And he compares better with some of the newer spirits that came out. Not so much the original ones.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're bad spirits. I'm just saying for 2 players. This list isn't... I just organize them by how difficult I feel that they are to play together. Or just to play. If that makes sense? Like, whether they're fun or not is subjective a little bit. Mm-hmm. And how powerful they are, I didn't feel like crunching numbers to come up with a definitive amount. So I just did it by easy to harder spirits to be successful in.
Okay, so you're going from the easiest to the hardest ones to combo.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, the first one is probably a combination that everyone starts the game with. Like if you have 2 players and you bought this game, these are probably the 2 spirits you used first. I'd be willing to guess a large portion of people use these first. So I'm calling it like the PB&J, peanut butter and jelly. It's just the basic, they go together. It's simple, it's not complicated, and it works.
Is it the vine and the lightning swift strike?
It's not the vine. Lightning swift strike is one of them.
Okay.
So it's lightning swift strike.
And the rivers?
Not the rivers.
Okay.
It is lightning swift strike and vital strength of the earth.
That makes sense.
Because this guy is very easy defense, and this guy is offense.
Yeah,
so,
and he speeds up the other spirit.
My other working name for this combo was AC/DC.
Why?
Electrical current, as in the earth.
like being grounded and the current.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's electrician
AC/DC
humor.
Okay.
All right, but very good. Okay.
I think I already covered why they work so well together. Because this guy is a bunch of offense, this guy's a bunch of defense. And people kind of understand how that works together. One guy defends, the other guy kills.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly easy combo because you just automatically complement each other, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, and they're both relatively easy complexity-wise. So if you're both starting out, this would be a good one. I approve.
You approve? All right. The next combo, my nickname for this one is Master Oogway.
Master Oogway.
As in...
I should know that reference.
From the Panda movies. Kung Fu Panda movie reference.
Oh. Master Oogway. Okay. I don't know. It's lost on me.
Okay. Master Oogway is the tortoise who's training him.
Yes.
Noodles. Don't noodles.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So, this one's rampant green and Vital Strength of the Earth again.
Oh, you're doubling up.
I did
Okay.
some of these.
All right. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, this is another, I have this as like a difficulty 1, like super easy combination. And Master Oogway because he's all about patience. You know? Rampant Green pairs with just about all the spirits. Rampant Green is just a good support character, so you could pick any spirit and it would do well with that one, usually. But it pairs well, especially with Lightning, but in the end there can only be one Dragon Warrior. And the Dragon Warrior is Vital Strength of the Earth.
Yeah.
Because this guy, the reason why this is, it might not be as obvious at first because these are both very defensive, especially in the beginning. But the reason why is Rampant Green speeds up the placement of your presence on the board, and more importantly, speeds up taking the presence off the tracks. And all the other spirits are balanced so that you have to choose: do I put out more presence or do I get more energy or cards? And so there's a give and take there. Whereas Vital Strength of the Earth, the amount of presence you put out is perfectly balanced for you because you always put one presence out every turn. So if you pair it with this, you automatically are just making him more powerful no matter what you choose, because he's going to be able to put out more presence than he ought to.
Gotcha.
And when this guy gets his tracks cleared, you can very easily...
You can get major powers.
So imagine having this guy being able to cast a 4 energy cost major power, plus a 6 energy cost major power, and then being able to repeat the 6 energy major power for free, and having all the energy to do that without any of it saved up before your turn started.
Yeah.
So this guy
that would be
turns
pretty
into
awesome.
a monster spirit when he's sped up.
Because of Master Oogway.
Yes, because of Master Oogway. And it also, I also named it that because it requires patience. Because in the beginning, these guys will be slow to start, and you'll just be defending and delaying.
Yeah.
And then eventually, at some point, you'll realize that this rock golem is a beast.
That sounds really fun, actually. I kind of want to do that.
All right, this one's a little more difficult to use effectively.
Okay.
I feel. And I had a couple, I wanted to call it California in winter, but I thought that might be too soon. It might be too soon to, as a joke. So I'm calling it Monsoon season, which is a little on the nose.
Okay. Is this oceans and rivers?
It is. It's oceans and rivers.
I got one.
I was making a joke because California right now is just...
Oceans and rivers.
It's just oceans and rivers.
Unfortunately.
Sorry to those people in California. So this one's more difficult. These spirits feel like they should complement each other, and they do. The oceans push a lot of characters, and the rivers push lots of characters, and oceans puts the ocean in play, so you can push the enemies into the oceans and kill them. So normally rivers doesn't do a ton of damage early on. Later it does, but you can push with this guy right into the rivers and right into the oceans and kill things. What makes this more difficult than the other ones is that they don't have any inherent defense. And oceans can be more complicated to use because he can't get to the inland lands as easily, and like land 8 he can't get to at all. So river will have to spread quickly. It's easy for river to do, but this is where the teamwork comes into play, because you have to learn to play on each other's boards and not just worry about your board, but worry about portions of your board. If you get a city early inland, so it's out of reach of oceans, it can cause trouble because rivers has a hard time dealing with cities. Oceans gets energy from having invaders washed away, and with only 2 players, it only takes 2 health worth of invaders for him to get an energy. So oceans will be able to play major powers very early with this combination.
Are there any invaders that like you would avoid with this?
I would avoid the Brits, because the Brits spread more easily, especially inland, And Brandyburg and Sweden are both good adversaries against these guys. You ready? You ready for another one?
Okay, I'm ready to try.
All right. The next name is Tesla Coil. That's the name of this team.
Tesla Coil. Tesla Coil?
I don't know. As in Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. Tesla Coil. So it must have something to do with, let's see, who's left.
It's not those two. It's actually lightning
Okay.
and rivers.
Oh, okay.
Now, these
I
are
was
both.
half right.
Yes. There is zero defense with this. So this is a fairly difficult combination to use, I feel.
Yeah.
But,
They do a lot of damage, though.
yes, lightning's shortcoming is that it doesn't generate enough energy quick enough to use all its abilities. But one of River's benefits is that it can give energy to other players. And there's a ability that Rivers has that they can empower a spirit to gain as much energy as power cards they played that turn. And it's very easy to play lots of power cards with Lightning Swift Strike. So if you have minor powers. So using that combination, Rivers can make Lightning surge in power and make Lightning way more powerful than it would be because it feeds it energy. And you will have to coordinate a lot because there will be no defense. So it's a race against time.
It would be a little tricky, yeah.
A race against Blight, really. But it can be really fun. I played these two together before, and when done right, it feels like it.
So maybe if you get minor powers that kind of help reduce blight, that would be good to do with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I
would be
would
helpful.
always suggest getting cards that have your
Have your elements.
Elements, yeah. Because they both these guys have very powerful. You want to be using the innate powers for both of these.
Okay, cool. All right. I like these two. I like their color palettes together.
It's true. It's
That's
the
just
classic.
Yeah,
It's
they look
almost
good together.
teal and orange. It's like the
Yeah.
movie palette.
I'm not very good at your cryptic.
Well, they're not very obvious.
They're fun, but I have to
This one shouldn't. I got
think
it.
like
That one's
Daniel.
not. So the next combination, my code name for this is Captain Ahab,
Captain Ahab. Okay.
as in Moby Dick.
Yeah. So Captain obviously it would be oceans.
Yeah.
And Captain Ahab would it be Thunder Speaker?
No,
With oceans?
that's a good guess, I guess. But
Or-
I'm going with the fact that like Captain Ahab's crew kind of went crazy on the ship, and he was like a delirious,
Fear. Okay. That was my second guess.
unstoppable, self-destructive force. So I'm pairing these two.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares. This guy is probably the most challenging spirit to use. So this is going to make this more difficult. It's the same idea, though, as the rivers and oceans together, where this guy will push the enemies and oceans will gobble them up.
Well, yeah.
So normally, Bringers of Dreams and Nightmares can't do any damage directly. When he would do enough damage to kill an invader, instead, he generates a ton of fear and then just pushes them. But, like I said, oceans, if you push enemies into ocean spaces, then they drown. If you just push one town and one city from a land, this guy, into an ocean and have him drown, you will gain enough fear to earn you 1 fear card plus 2 more fear.
Oh, wow.
So
Every round.
Just by that one action.
Oh, wow.
Just by eliminating a town and a city. That's how much fear that'll generate. So this, even though it's challenging to use, you will burn through those fear cards so fast. You should be generating at least 1 fear card a round, and sometimes 2, and sometimes even 3.
That would speed up the game for sure. Yeah. So I've never played Bringers of Nightmares, Bringers of Dreams and Nightmares, but can he kind of maneuver the board pretty well? Like, how far does his presence go usually from range?
He's easy to place him around, but once there, he doesn't move around.
Oh, I see. Much. Okay.
His fear can generate defense, and so it's not pure offense.
Okay.
It's more control.
That sounds doable for sure.
In fact, he has no offense. He only has fear and control. But when you pair him with Oceans, all of a sudden you do get offense.
You can do a lot. Yeah. Cool.
But this is definitely a trickier combination to use, and it requires, again, a lot of coordination.
A lot of teamwork.
All right, so the next name might be a little insensitive.
Oh, to me?
No.
Oh.
I'm calling it Apocalypse Now. Or Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, okay. So
maybe it's too off-color.
Yeah, maybe that's a little too much. Is it Spread a Rampant Green with someone?
No.
No. Okay, I'm trying to think like.
I'm also considering this the most difficult combination to use together.
Oh.
The highest level of coordination.
All right, I'm just gonna guess Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares and Thunder Speaker.
It is.
Really?
Yeah, it is. All right. And the reason why let me know in the comments. Did I go too far with that name?
It's one of the few I actually guessed.
Thunder Speaker is all about using the Dahan to fight back.
Yeah.
And this guy's all about nightmares and terror. The reason why this is the most difficult to use is because they both rely on the Dahan a lot for their powers. And so you'll have to constantly be coordinating where they are and where they're going to attack and make it very tactical that way. And it almost changes the type of game you're playing because you need the Dahan to make your abilities work. And it's a whole other element between you, the other player, and that third element on the board. But they both have a decent amount of defense. And they both can be extremely powerful spirits when used properly. So, not least of which because this, the Nightmare guy will let you look at which fear cards are coming up.
Yeah.
Which is a fairly easy thing for him to do. And so, a lot of times knowing what's going to come up with where you have the Dahan and other tokens can make a huge difference. So, these two together are extremely good. But they also require the most coordination. So much so that, like, I don't know, if you're playing by yourself but you're playing two spirits, you should try using these two because then, like, that coordination in your brain is automatic. You don't have to say it out loud.
That's true. You're using them both to your benefit.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And if you try this and it feels too hard to do all that coordination, then the other combination I would try instead, in lieu of these two, would be to bring in Shadows Flicker Like Flame because it's a similar combination where they use fear. He just uses fear to a lesser extent and can also kill stuff. He's like a watered down Bringer of Dreams, I feel. And I'm calling this combination Shadow and Bones.
Nice. Smoky Bones. Shadow and Bones. Oh, got it.
This is like, this is still challenging and useful, but it's not that like elite tier of every time you do any action you have to check someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also because shadows can actually kill people, it can feel
you're a little bit more independent.
You feel like you have a little more breathing space.
Gotcha.
You can. Those are my combinations.
Those are your favorite combinations.
Yeah, I think the most exciting to play with other people. Now, I'm not saying they're the strongest. Like, Jona and I often play with this guy, Keeper of Forbidden Wilds, and
really like
you know, last few times we played, or we did a walkthrough or a playthrough with like with these two.
No, it was these two.
Oh, it was these two. Yeah, and they're plenty powerful enough.
Yeah,
it's just that like the way that they synergize with each other. they just are sort of doing their own thing.
All right. Well, thank you, Daniel. I really liked your list.
Was it good?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I like your nicknames too.
I was looking at the spirits and the expansions, and there are some really good 2-player combinations there. But I feel that the base game offers the most variety for 2-player interaction.
Oh, interesting.
And I think a lot of the expansion spirits really shine in 3 or more player count games.
I can see that.
Where
Yeah.
they really, where like the different spirits overlap and assist each other. I don't think it's worth doing a video with the expansions with 2-player combinations.
Really?
No, I think it would be better to do like 3-player combinations or 4-player, but not for
okay.
just for 2 players.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for watching along. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Leave a comment and give us a thumbs up if you liked it, because that's always nice to see. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.